What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another draft strategy video. Today, I'm going to bring you a brand new video about first and second round draft pairings, or in other terms, players you should take with your second round pick if you choose player X in the first round. Before we jump into this video, if you want access to our projections, the trade analyzer, draft sheet, or just support the channel, make sure you click that link below and sign up for our Patreon. Links to our Twitter and Discord are also there, and without further ado, let's jump into our draft pairings video. I just want to say for this video, we're going to be using Yahoo ADP rankings, basic Yahoo scoring, goals, assists, power play points, shots, hits for skaters, and wins, save percentage, goals against average for goalies. I look at pairings for 10-team leagues and 12-team leagues. Congratulations, you're pick number 1. Welcome to the world of Connor McDavid. McDavid is the unanimous number 1 pick, and there should really be no other consideration. With McDavid, you're getting a top of the league scoring, very elite shot rate, but someone that lacks hits. Drafting McDavid means you can put less focus on forwards and look at defensemen in the second round. For 10-team leagues in the second round, you'll be picking at 20. The best options to pair in the second round with McDavid, taking into account Yahoo ADP, are number 1, Roman Josi at ADP 20. This secures you with the top end defenseman, although lacking in hits. Josi has top 10 upside. Number 2, Brady Tkachuk of the Ottawa Senators, and you might see his name a lot. He has top 5 upside if he can smash all of the categories. He makes up for the lack of hits. And another player you can look at in the top 20 is Pastrnak. Easily top 10 upside at ADP 25. He should be available for you. Bruins may not be fully healthy, but when they are in the second half, Pastrnak may be a top 5 to 10 player. For 12-team leagues, pick number 2 will be at the end of the second round at number 24. Similar to 10-team leagues, Brady Tkachuk is ranked 32 and should be available at 24 for you. I'd prioritize him over Pastrnak, but Pasta is a great number 2. If you want to go defenseman, John Carlson or Aaron Ekblad are the best available options at ADP 38 and 34 respectively. At pick number 2, there's really nothing to be mad about. Assuming McDavid gets taken, our projections have Leon Draisaitl slightly edging out Matthews, but both are extremely strong picks. If you take one of the two, the difference is minimal. Matthews has higher shot upside, while Draisaitl is more likely to score more points. For a 10-team league, you'll have pick number 19 in the second round. If you take Matthews, I would be completely fine taking Marner and pairing them. If you think Matthews will have a big season, chances are Marner will as well. Josi is an extremely good pairing to give you a top-end defenseman. And finally, Chris Kreider at ADP 25 would complement both Leon and Matthews exceptionally with his strong goals, shots, and hits contributions. Imagine starting off a draft with Leon or Matthews and Roman Josi. A 12-team league, your second round pick would be number 23, a little bit later than 19, meaning Josi probably won't be available. Brady Tkachuk is a perfect pairing to add to the hits and shots categories. As well, I think you can safely take a top ND like I mentioned with Carlson, Ekblad, or even Chris Letang. In round 3, you should be drafting one of Matthews or Leon, whoever was taken at number 2, or if McDavid falls, but that's extremely unlikely. We're creeping down the second round now in the 10-team league at pick 18. You can complement your high-scoring centerman with Matt Tkachuk, right-wing eligibility, and very good upside in all categories. A defenseman does seem unlikely to fall here, but if Hedman is available at 18, he'd probably be my number 1 choice. I wouldn't take Fox here. He's ADP 17, but the lack of hits may actually hurt you. In a 12-team league, your second-round pick will be at number 22. At 22, Josi may be available, who's the obvious number 1 choice. Brady Tkachuk again would be perfect, similar to what I talked about before for the second overall pairings. If neither are available, David Pastrnak at right wing would be my forward choice, or John Carlson for defenseman. 4th overall is where you may get into a bit of a pickle. Yahoo has McKinnon as the census 4th overall pick, and our Fantasy Puck projections tells us the same thing. Of the top 4 picks, McKinnon has the highest shot upside and could easily be the number 1 player if he can stay healthy. In a 10-team league, you're looking at pick 17 for your second round, and this can allow you to be aggressive. I would look at Hedman or Josi to fill the defenseman spot early, or take a look at a winger like Matt Tkachuk. I'm really not interested in goalies early, but if Vasilevsky or Shesterkin fall to 17, and if the others I mentioned are off the board, you could take either. In a 12-team league, your options are relatively the same. I picked 21. Hopefully you could snag a second-round defenseman, but if not, Brady Tkachuk, Pastrnak, Kreider are all very good options to complement McKinnon. At pick number 5, there are very few options you can decide on. Cale Makar is the census ADP 5 on Yahoo, and for us here at Fantasy Puck as well. You not only secure yourself with one of the top point-producing players in the league, but a top-end defenseman. Makar's extremely valuable. Our projections love him this year. We project him for 86 points, 220 shots, and 90 hits, and honestly, he could exceed 40 plus power play points. This sets you up perfectly for round 2 at pick 16 to take a high-end forward. At 16, I'd be looking at Barkov, Ovechkin, and Matt Tkachuk, all elite forwards on very good teams. Ovi would be my number 1 choice if available, followed by Tkachuk and then Barkov. If you think Makar is too risky for you at pick 5, my personal second option would be one of Kaprizov or Ovechkin. Although the same nationality, they're completely different players. Kaprizov provides you with top 5 scoring but does lack hits significantly, while Ovi hits almost every single category except for assists. But honestly, assists are pretty easy to make up, and if you're taking Makar in the first round, he's a guy that can be top 5 in the league. Ovi's ability to stay healthy puts him up over 150 hits and 300 shots each season, makes him extremely intriguing. In a 12-team league, your next pick would be at number 20. If you took Makar, then you'd be looking to complement him with an elite forward. Kreider, Pastrnak, and Zibanejad are the big standouts. Of course, you can go Tkachuk here, but I think you would easily be able to snag him in the next round. If you went with a forward, you should look at Josi, Letang, Karlsson, or Ekblad. At the 6th pick, assuming Makar was taken, Yahoo has Kaprizov as the census next pick. I like Ovi or Rantanen here, but it really depends on your league. If you don't have hits, Ovi probably slides out of the first round, but if hits are a category, Ovi becomes a very safe pick at 6. Between Rantanen and Kaprizov, Kaprizov likely has a higher point ceiling and did play 81 of 82 games last season, but Rantanen does have the higher floor. The Avs are extremely good, and obviously he'll be a beneficiary of that. I like Rantanen with his dual position eligibility on Yahoo, center and right wing, which can be very valuable. In a 10-team league, your next pick is 15. Hedman, Fox are in play here, who are at ADP 14 and 16 respectively. If they're not available, I would look to complement them with Matt Tkachuk or Barkov. In a 12-team league, your second round pick is 19. If you grabbed Ovechkin, I would pair him with Marner or Gaudreau because of Ovi's big contributions to hits. If you took Kaprizov or Rantanen, look for one of the big defensemen, Josi, Hedman, Fox, and if they're not available, I would grab one of Pastrnak and Stamkos, some higher scoring forwards to complement the high assist generating forwards. We are now at pick number 7. Rantanen is the consensus pick here on Yahoo. I love Rantanen if he falls to 7. Dual position eligibility as I mentioned, and an extremely high floor. He has top 5 points upside solely because of how dominant the Avs are going to be offensively. I don't think you'll have any problems drafting him here. My only concern is his injury history. We project him this season to miss 9 games, which really isn't league changing. Rantanen's shot rate continues to stay at a high level, 10.1 shots per 60 in 2020 and 9.7 shots per 60 in 2021. If Rantanen is taken, it's likely some of the other players mentioned are available, Ovi, Kaprizov, Makar, and I'm completely fine taking Kucherov at this pick as well. In a 10-team league, you'll be picking again in 7 picks at 14. Hedman would be the ideal player here, who is ADP 14, Ovechkin's ADP 13, and may fall, which would be pretty much solidifying your forwards early. You can take Josi here, who's at ADP 20, may scare some people, but depending on the scoring system, if there's no plus minus, I would probably draft Josi over Hedman. Very similar situation for a 12-team league at pick number 18. Josi, Hedman, Fox if available, or else I would look at someone like Stamkos or Pastrnak, as Rantanen is more of a 30-goal, 60-assist guy than a 40-goal, 50-assist player. Adding a goal scorer along Rantanen's assist upside is a perfect duo. At pick number 8, the consensus pick on Yahoo is Vasilevsky. You'll hear in my other draft strategy videos that I'm completely against taking a goalie this early. There's just too much variance for me, and many of the mid to late round goalies last season actually finished better than Vaz. For me, I'm taking Kucherov, Rantanen, and Ovi at pick number 8. You can get yourself an extremely productive forward, and in a 10-team league, you'll be at pick number 13, and you can quickly come back with an extremely productive defenseman. Josi, Hedman, or if he falls, even Ovechkin, who's at ADP 13. In a 12-team league, your next pick is 17, and the options are pretty much the same as a 10-team league. Elite defensemen, and if they're not available, mixing in Stamkos, Pastrnak, Matt Tkachuk is a perfect complement to the high-scoring forwards. At pick number 9, the consensus player here is Igor Shesterkin, yet another goalie. Again, I'm off goalies this early, so I'm looking at one of the top forwards. I don't mind Huberdeau here, who is ADP 12. The Flames offense has shown they possess the capability to put up 100-point seasons, but I think you can grab one of Rantanen, Kucherov, or Ovi here and quickly turn over to the 12th pick. I then grab Barkov, Hedman, or even Huberdeau. If Vaz falls to 12 and you didn't take Shesterkin, I think it's fine taking him there, especially if goaltending stats are important in your league. And I would say it has to be half or more than half of your league categories. For a 12-team league, your next pick would be at number 16. Assuming you take a forward, I would look at elite defenseman yet again. Moving down 4 spots to take Josi is completely viable here. If you end up going Ovi here, I think one of Gaudreau and Marner makes a lot of sense at 16, just because of Ovi's hitting stats. Oh no, looks like you have the last pick in a 10-team league. Is it the worst spot to be in? Absolutely not. More than likely, 2 goalies get taken in the first round, which is an absolute blessing. Our rankings suggest that Kucherov and Huberdeau are a great duo to take here. You won't be picking for a while, but in your next back-to-back, why not grab 2 defensemen? Imagine starting your draft off with 2 100-point players in Kucherov and Huberdeau, and then following that back up with Letang and Seider. Yeah, I think you'd be looking pretty good. Pick 10 in a 12-team league means you have number 15 in round 2. Our projections tell me that Kucherov and then pairing him with Matt Tkachuk here is the optimal play. Man, doesn't that sound nice? A 100-plus point forward, and Tkachuk, who was a complete wildcard this year in Florida. He could have 100, 110, 120 points, and we can't forget the 250 shots and 150 hits. Honestly, I'd be afraid for the others in your draft, especially the early goalie drafters. We are now at the point where we transition to only 12-team leagues. Pick 11 is disheartening to say the least. You look up at all your friends or league mates taking these unbelievable forwards and defensemen, and heck, even a goaltender. The 11th ranked player on Yahoo is Huberdeau, and he's number 12 in our rankings. Is regression possible in Calgary? Yes, but Huberdeau still has massive upside on the Flames. At pick number 14, how would someone like Hedman, Ovechkin, Matt Tkachuk look on your roster? Pretty good if you ask me. Huberdeau has massive point upside, and then in round 2, you can get one of Tkachuk or Ovi to give you 80 plus points, 250 plus shots, and 150 plus hits. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to start off your draft. I'm okay taking Vaz here. Again, this has to be a league where goalie categories weigh heavily, but again, I'm off goalies in round 1. Lastly, pick number 12 and 13, the very fun back-to-back picks in a 12-team league. I've been preaching not to take a goalie in the first round, but at pick 12, Vasilevsky just holds too much value. You may not end up getting him here, but he is our pick at number 12. Taking a goalie this early is risky, but for your back-to-back pick, you can quickly grab a top-end scorer and pretty much not worry about goaltending until at least round 10. In your quick turnover, you can grab Barkov, Tkachuk, Huberdeau, Marner, really any of the top forwards at the highest ADP. But it is likely that some of the players previously mentioned on this list are available at this pick, so definitely do not hesitate to take those guys. That'll do it for our first and second round pairings video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.